You found the Taxi Stand Hour.
Over.
On Radio TFI.
Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428, on Twitter at Taxi Stand Hour. From a payphone, call collect.
And good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, March 20th, 2022. The knocking on the door of the first day of spring. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Taxi Stand Hour here on Radio TFI and on the Radio TFI streaming network from the ShawnaMakesMeLaugh.com studio in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm John Shannon. Over there in the Radio TFI Executive Tower in Queens, New York, it is the one and only Ed Van Ness. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, kids and kittens. As always, we trust you've had a fine and fantastic week. We are broadcasting to you live today from the ground floor of the Radio TFI Executive Tower, where we fully expect to have our grand reopening momentarily, and more details on that as they become available. Young Mr. Shannon, spring is upon us. We are literally an hour and a half away from spring. How you doing today, sir?
Where we will start anew.
We will start anew. We will renew, as the say. And before we go anywhere else, I got to say to my sister Karen for getting Wordle on the first try yesterday.
She did.
She did indeed.
God damn. Congratulations, Karen.
You're up against a formidable family here, Mr. Shannon.
Well, I've never doubted that since day one. I like to give you a ton of grief, but that's just the way I am. That's just the way I roll.
That is the
fact of the matter. I recognize your prowess.
You leave my prowess out of this. I thought I was wearing the right shirt that you wouldn't see it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you like to show it off quite a bit.
I do. I'm not embarrassed about it. I just not sure everybody can take it. Anyway. So,
listen, I am ready for all the attempted stop signs that I'm going to get from you here.
Yeah.
But I have to make a personal announcement.
By all means.
Okay, so over the last little bit of time here, I've made reference to Lori. Let me explain real quick. Lori is my ex from a number of years ago.
John, may I, before you continue on, I just want to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, get a piece of paper and a pencil or a chalkboard, because it's going to get complicated from here on out. You're going to
no. I am gonna subscribe to the KISS method on this.
Go ahead. I know what's going on.
As best I can.
Good.
The best way I can put it is I made a mistake in breaking that marriage off with Lori. I really did. I was fascinated, had an infatuation with someone. The reasons in my mind were logical for that infatuation, but nonetheless, it was really nothing more than an infatuation. And it cost me a damn good relationship, a damn good marriage. And so when I was lucky enough to be back into Lori's life, the two of us spoke, and we're going to redo it. We're going to renew our wedding vows. Something to keep it simple. It's something we both want, and I feel very thankful that she wants me in her life, and I'm happy to be in her life. So with that, Lori, I love you. I know you're listening, and have fun at work. I'll see you in about an hour. I'll see you in about 3 hours there.
Well. There's congratulations. You know, we spoke off air, and look, I'm happy for you guys. I really, really, truly am. And I will do my level best to try to find my way to. Is it Iowa City? Is that where you live? It's one of those places out there. I will do my level best.
He's gonna see corn stalks in the field, and he's gonna all of a sudden freak out. I understand that.
This is it. No, in all seriousness, like I said to you earlier, I'm happy for you guys. I really, truly am. And that being said, I have no such news like that. Okay. I don't have anything.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
I wouldn't count on that one.
You're still young.
Still young?
You're still young.
Me? Have you seen me?
Basically from the neck up for the most part.
But from the perspective of the known universe, yes, I'm just a pup. You know, from the universe is 14 billion years old. Yes, I'm a mere nothing, mere bag of shells, as it were. For all you honeymoon fans there. Anyway, this is great. We're happy for you, John, as always. But you know what? We got business here. We got business here on the Taxi Stand Hour.
We do.
We do. It's the Radio TFI Market Watch, brought to you by Weddings. Uber closed the week at $33.36, up $3.60. Lyft closed the week at $38.62, up $3.34. This has been the Radio TFI Market Watch. Love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener.
Oh, Jesus. Do we have anything else in the in industry news?
I honestly, like I told you earlier, I literally was putting this show together an hour ago. I worked yesterday. We had a long day. Saturday is normally my day to produce. I was going to have something, but I didn't have time to prepare it. I hope to have it for next week. Basically, we are winging it today, sir. We have a couple
So, as I understand it, Uber and Lyft are both now going to put a fuel surcharge on their rides. I think Lyft announced 55 cents per ride. That might be supposedly all going to the drivers.
You Midwestern sucker, you believe that, you rube.
I don't know. I have until I look at the Facebook groups that I'm on and what have you, till they tell me that they're not seeing that.
Oh, please. When has either one of these outfits been up front? Oh, yeah, we're going to do this for you, the drivers. Next thing you know, it's out of pocket for the driver. Oh, please. There will be about a week or so of, yeah. No, you guys are going to get it all. And then you watch and see. If the drivers get to keep 25 cents of it, it'll be a lot. I will be shocked.
Well, and here's my feeling on that. Okay, 55 cents per gallon. 55 cents per trip, rather, That might not be bad in the Midwest. Our gas prices. It's so funny. Everybody everywhere here in Minnesota for the last week and a half has been at $3.99. Nobody wants to push over that $4.
Oh, we're long since past that. We're weeks into. I want to say something. I'm going to interrupt you, John, because it's kind of what we do here.
It's kind of what you do, yes.
I've never been a fan of the knee-jerk reaction of raising fares and charging the customer more because of what will, in the long run, be a temporary fluctuation in gas prices. I am on the side of, well, we don't lower the rates when the prices drop down, do we?
No.
Back in Broward County, there was talk for the longest time. Let's adjust the meters up, and then when the gas prices hit back down to a certain level, and this was when you had to bring the cab back to the shop, and it had to be adjusted, and there was seals, and they don't do that anymore. But look, I understand there's more money coming out of the driver's pocket for fuel. I get that, but right now these prices are going to come down. We've seen it up above $4 before.
Exactly.
And it came down. And look, if you want to go after anybody over high fuel prices, it's not the president. How about the oil companies who are showing record profits? Record profits in the past year. And how many executives are going to, decline their $40 million annual bonus on top of their $25 million a year salary?
Right.
Oh, you're not going to see that happen. So no, I'm, and as far as Lyft and Fluber are concerned, no, that money, or the majority of that money, is going into their pockets. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say on the topic.
Yeah, because I'm thinking here, 2008 was the last time we saw gas prices up around this level. As a matter of fact, they were up over $4 per gallon, if I'm in many cases.
Where I was, and that Bush was in office. I distinctly remember Bush was in office.
Yep, absolutely. I remember, and it's a pain in the ass, pain in the pocketbook. Hey, Thomas, thanks for joining us. Tom Shaw, our friend from the other side of the pond, is listening and says hi. But yeah, we've had these. This has happened before, so I'm not losing a lot of sleep over. Now, granted, in my personal line of work, I'm only driving my hybrid taxi on a part-time basis.
Mm-hmm. Let's do a little math. What do you say?
Does that mean I'm going to have to thank you?
Yeah, there's a good chance. So Uber and Lyft are going to charge the riders an extra 55 cents per ride. How much is a driver paying for fuel right now? More than he was, say, a month ago. $2 more a ride, buck and a half more a gallon, I should say.
It depends on how it really depends on how far the driver's being chased for his next ride.
Let's spitball. We know that you don't get the best fuel mileage because of stop and go.
Mm-hmm.
So that 55 cents doesn't even cover the increase on 1 gallon of gasoline. Okay. And if, like most Uber and Lyft drivers, if they're spending a lot of time cruising, let's not forget cruising. They're driving around, hunting for work and all that. So they're burning through fuel. Anyway, that 55 cents per ride, I mean, every little bit helps, sure, but it doesn't. It doesn't mean anything. And again, they're going to steal it back anyway. So, don't take anything those clowns say as meaning anything to help the drivers, because it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
And come to think of it, it's been about, let me think about this for a minute.
Don't
It
hurt
was
yourself.
about the time when when gas prices were this high before, when most of the cab companies in my neck of the woods bumped their prices. They never went back down. There are still cab companies now. Granted, uh, they're only, maybe, geez, if there's 100 of them in the entire metro area, that there are still cabs out there that are still charging $2.75 per mile.
Right.
The company I'm with rejected that notion, stayed at 250, and I'll guarantee you too that Uber is going to, they're going to use that reason too to surge like crazy. I
Oh
had
yeah.
to laugh at Patrick's Day. Oh, Uber is my friend. Uber is my friend. I thought to myself, get ready to take it in the short. You,
You're right.
uh, but I didn't say anything. I used to pipe in when I'd hear that on the radio, but it's like after a while, you just get tired of beating your head against the wall.
Well,
And
as I've explained to more than one person over the years, well, how did taxis do it without surge? We kept busy. All you gotta do is keep busy.
yeah,
All you gotta do is, as long as there's a button, a seat, and the meter's on, that's our surge. That was always our surge.
right.
I don't need to tell somebody, well, that ride that cost you $3 yesterday is now $27. And look, it's anyway. I was about to go on another rant about it, but oh, that's what I was going to say. Back then, we were. I was one of the few voices against a meter increase.
Hmm.
Excuse me. We hadn't had one in a few years, and now everybody's. Well, they also wanted the temporary, quote unquote, temporary fuel surcharge
Hmm.
or increase because of the fuel. I said no. Like I said earlier, because the price is going to go down, and nobody's going to want to see the meter go down. You're not
Hmm.
willing to do that. You're only willing to go one way. Now, when a legitimate raise was due, absolutely, I was all for that. Oh, I had people saying things to me, the likes of which would have burned my mother's ears out, talking about her little baby boy that way. But I stood firm. I stood firm, and the people at the company weren't happy with me. I said, look, I don't believe that it's justified right now. I know everybody's hurting. I was hurting, but is it worth scaring away another 10% of the business? And this was pre-Uber, pre-Lyft.
Yeah.
But look, every time you have a meter increase, you at least temporarily you lose business. It's kind of a push for a while because
Hmm.
whatever you're getting in the new meter rate, you've lost, and people get upset. And for a week or two, I'll take the bus, I'll walk, and it comes back most of it, but you still lose it for whatever reason. And again,
And to be quite honest with you, Ed, at least again, my situation, the company I'm a part-time driver in. Uh, we're not out there chasing that type of run right now. A lot of the drivers stay away from it because the account business that we have, most of them are minimum fares, at the very least $10, and in a lot of instances a minimum fare of $14 for
right,
some instances where you take the client literally 2 blocks down the road.
right. And most drivers now, I'm sure, are content with, okay, they know where these calls are coming out of. I'm not quite up to speed on your entire system, but they're not driving around willy-nilly cruising. There's no cruising.
No.
At best, they're going to go to the next place, either where they have something lined up. I don't know how you're scheduling. From what I hear, the dispatchers there are horrible. They're more concerned with their days off and their weddings than they are with actually doing the work.
Well, but I don't dispatch for that company, so you go ahead and lob as many.
Oh man, that was wasted, wasn't it?
It sure was.
That's one I'm not going to get back.
No.
Mm.
Nope, nope,
Mm.
nope, 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 nope. Remember, I'm a dispatcher for basically a bus company.
Yeah, man, that one hurt. That one hurt.
So,
I had that one all locked. I had that one locked and loaded. That one's been sitting in the barrel for a couple days now.
yeah, well,
I even drew a smiley face on it, but that's okay. I got a big one coming up in hour two, don't I, John?
yeah. What I forget? Oh, you know what? We're going to run out of time. We're not going to have time to do
Watch. I'm like Doctor Strange. Watch me manipulate time. By the way, apropos of nothing, Tuesday I finished very, very early, and we weren't starting until late on Wednesday. So I actually had a real night at home, and I actually had to buy the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home.
Uh-huh.
And I watched it, and I will say this: no spoilers involved or anything like that, other than to say the butler did it. If you haven't seen it and you like the MCU, by all means, you will enjoy the living daylights out of this movie.
I enjoyed that movie.
Did you
Definitely.
see it?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Actually went to a real movie theater to see it.
Well, I don't have that kind of time. I paid $20 to watch it at home.
Jesus Christ.
But I don't do it that often. I mean, when was the last time? For me to go to the movies, okay, let's say I understand the theater experience and all that, but it would have cost me by the time I had something to eat and all that, it would have cost me $20 anyway.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm home with my socks in my recliner chair, and I had to get up for work the next day, so. Anyway,
at least here in the Midwest, the theaters, though, they're really trying their damnedest to replicate the experience of being at home. I mean, most of them now have reclining seats.
Oh yeah, I know. And we got a little note from Tom Shaw here, who says, in the UK, my firm and others increased our fares by about 50p per mile. That's pence, and that
50
means
pence, yeah.
that I'm not sure how much that is. Customers complained for a while, but have moved on. Right, that's what happens. We can't go up anymore without losing customers. We are, however, still cheaper than Uber. And you know what? This is something that people can't do. You can't compare your prices to Uber, because Uber fluctuates all over the place, willy-nilly. Meanwhile, legitimate for hire transportation companies are generally fixed rate, or their rates are adjusted by whatever authority is there, whether it's town, county, council, I believe, in Tom's neck of the woods here, if I have that right. And you can't go by that. But you're right. That's exactly what I was talking about, Tom. You have a certain amount of drop off. People, I'm not going to use that. No, it's too darn expensive. And most of them come back eventually. Most of them. But,
by the way, boys and girls, we do have a phone number. If the phone line is up, it is running. I have the gerbils there spinning the wheel, and they've got the phone powered up. That number is 754-800 754-800-2428. Feel free. Let your voice be heard.
Fly your freedom flag.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm looking at the phone right now. It's hanging on the wall. It's an old rotary phone that hangs on the wall.
You keep it away from Gil Christ. What did I tell you about keeping that phone, especially with that long cord?
Yeah, but he can't reach it from the floor.
Yeah, well, he can still put these numbers.
He hasn't got that kind of enthusiasm.
Okay.
He's not that.
Well, that's good, I guess. But
by the way, just as an announcement as to for what it's worth, starting next Sunday, and until real baseball comes back, we will be playing Baseball games every night at 8 p.m. We're going to continue with Saturdays, the doubleheader. Actually, Saturdays will become a triple header. No, actually, it won't. Saturdays will not be a triple header. It'll be the doubleheader, but we'll be playing games 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 8 p.m. Pacific Time will be a replay for our friends out on the West Coast. And so you'll get the same game twice. And, just filling in that void until Major League Baseball comes back, and then we'll let them big boys have at it. So just a little side note there.
I still say that no other sport replicates what they can do for a baseball game when it comes to being on the radio.
Oh no.
It's just not the same effect with hockey or basketball or maybe
I agree.
to a lesser degree football, but baseball still it's
Excuse me.
those announcers, especially those announcers from back in the day, they could paint a picture. You could be sitting on your front porch, or a lot of times I'd listen to ball games when I was a kid. I'd listen to the ball games just laying in the bed, just kind of closing my eyes and just imagining.
Right. Well, with baseball, you have the time to paint the picture.
Yeah, exactly.
You have, you have the time to say, well, you've got Smith on first and Jones on second, and I don't know is on third, and all this, and you can, you start putting the pieces together, and then there's a burst of excitement, and then things calm down, and you start painting the picture again, and whereas, look, I've listened to hockey on the radio, and it's not bad. But excuse me, you don't get, at least I don't get the same images.
No,
I can picture
not.
I can picture the rink. I've listened to basketball. I used to listen to Marv Albert. Marv Albert used to do radio back in the day for the Knicks and the New York Rangers. So in the winter, you turned on a game, it was Marv Albert doing it. And I mean, he was great. He was the guy. I'm sure you're familiar with Marv Albert, aren't you? Or?
Sure, absolutely.
Yes. That was his thing.
Mm-hmm. I do remember.
Anyway, he shoots, he scores. Yes.
Well, now it's a whole, and then of course it's funny when you listen to a soccer game or hear a soccer game. Go. I could listen to that maybe. It's a good thing they don't score much in soccer because I could probably only listen to that maybe once or twice in a game's time.
Maybe because I wasn't raised with soccer, and I understand it's the world's game. Everybody on the planet. It's the easiest game for any group of kids to play. All you literally need is a ball.
Right.
You don't need a net. You don't need a hoop. You don't need, but I don't know that I could listen to it on the radio, probably because I'm not as familiar with the players and the teams, and there's a lot of guys running around out there in short pants, and be that as it may, look, I understand our good friend Tom. He's a big football fan, I'm sure, and
big time.
He's a supporter of who's he? I'm sure he'll tell us who he supports, and we're with him on that. But speaking of sports, did you see where the Cleveland Browns guaranteed Deshaun Watson 5 years and like $250 million?
So where's that put Mayfield then?
Vikings.
If we could ship Cousins down the road, I'd take Mayfield in a minute.
No, but Tom says the team he supports is the Vikings. No, we're talking about your football.
Yeah, who is your Mayfield is overrated. Oh boy.
And remember, Tom, you probably don't see as many of those Progressive commercials he's in. So, well, by the way, now you got to wonder, is Progressive going to do a commercial where Mayfield gets evicted from the stadium?
That would be fun.
That would be absolutely. Oh, it's Stockport County. Go Stockport County. I have no idea who they are.
One of these days, I'll have to have them explain to me. Now, there are so many different levels in soccer. You got Premier League. You've got.
I can explain that. It's the relegation system.
Okay.
Now, what that means is you start at the top. I believe the Premier League is at the top.
Uh-huh.
And then it goes down and down and down until you get to the club level and the city level. And so I believe it's 3 teams per year. The bottom 3 teams in the top level drop down. They're relegated to the next one down. Meanwhile, the top 3 teams from the other one move up, which means they can charge more, blah, blah, blah. And this works its way all the way down. It is literally possible for a team from a neighborhood league that's sanctioned and as part of this, it's huge. It's a whole, it is theoretically possible for 11 guys who get together and play on Sundays to eventually wind up in the Premier League. Theoretically. Because you move up. It'd take you some years, but you got to play your way up. But if you keep winning and you're the best of the best of the best, you're going to find yourself playing.
Tom promises to explain it to us, Rubes, one of these days.
Well, we look forward to that. And Premier League Championship, right. That's that's my understanding. I read up on it once, and it just gets the low as you drop down. The roots, of course, expand out. Premier League is at the top. There's nothing above it, but then there's all sorts of other leagues and situations. Thank you, Tom, for helping us out with that, by the way. And anyway, yeah, Baker Mayfield going to be out in Cleveland. I know where he's not going. I know he's not coming to Miami. I know that because thankfully we didn't take Deshaun Watson. They dropped the criminal charges against him, but he still has 22 pending lawsuits from women that have not had a good time with him, to say the least. And but hey, somebody.
What do you?
Hang on. For the past year or so, people have been going nuts about the Dolphins. Oh, they need to get rid of Tua and they need to trade for Deshaun Watson. People keep badmouthing Tua. Tua's what is he? 13-8 as a starter. It's not like he's 3-18. He's played well. We never should have got rid of Mark Fitzpatrick. He was Ryan Fitzpatrick. He was a good mentor, but I'm quite content with Tua. And I mean, it's not like Deshaun Watson won big in Houston. He didn't. He wasn't all that great down there. So I'm sorry, John. I cut you off.
No. I don't know. I mean, Mayfield. I liked the Browns with Curtis Mayfield.
Curtis Mayfield?
Oh, excuse me. Well, that's not who. The hell is Mayfield's first name?
Baker.
Baker. Okay. They've probably been good with Curtis Mayfield too.
Yeah, probably. No, Baker Mayfield he's a very good quarterback.
So good. I hope he winds up someplace. I don't know. This whole idea with professional athletes, whether they be football players, basketball players, even in some cases baseball players, where they think, they walk into a room, they look at the women that may be there and whatnot, and they think I could have just about any one of those women I want, and if I decide I'm gonna go after that one, baby, you're lucky. You're coming with me. It's almost as bad as the whole club and dragging them out by the back of their hair type crap. And
That's a very successful method. It served me well for many years.
yeah, well, you are about that age, but we'll.
Oh no, I'm not about that age. I am that age. I am that. No, I never did that. I got dragged out by the head of my hair on more than one occasion, but
Well, that explains a lot.
well, oh man, see, you can't take those shots.
Says who?
No. Says hour number 2, pal. Hour number
Is
2.
what it is.
How big is that plate of crow you got sitting there?
Yeah, well, you notice though, I went to an expert. I asked an expert.
I recommended him.
I went to an expert, and
I agree with that. That was my choice as well. And again, we'll get into all this in hour 2. John was monumentally wrong about something.
it happens every once in a while.
More than you might want. Anyway.
754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. If you want to join in on the conversation here, we're just kind of willy-nilly in it today. It's sad. We still have to come back at some point in time to what's going on in Ukraine. But it's just the same. It's just the same old shit out there.
Yeah. Look, apparently the Russian tanks are getting bogged down in the mud. Some of the things I'm hearing is that, the Ukrainians are doing a great job of cutting off supply lines and all that. There's some places where they're not doing as well. But at the moment, it appears Putin is, well, besides what his actual troops are going through on the ground, you got to remember his country is sanctions. They're almost literally cut off from the world financially. And this is going to come home to roost. Russian planes are not being allowed to land in a lot of countries. And, there's going to come a point, although Putin will not surrender. He will not back down.
Right.
And he's surrounded himself with bunch of yes men who he doesn't trust anybody. So,
well, the word is basically he's more than one source from an intelligence source are saying that Putin has kind of lost his mind, and he's in a very dangerous place to be, where he is at that and losing his mind like that. Are you hearing, by the way, having some issues hearing me audio-wise?
Yeah, I'm about to try something here, so you just keep talking, sir.
Yeah. So anyways,
let's hear what you got to say.
Well, going into the news stories where that I was looking at here during the week. Now, of course, Russia came in and they bombed a drama theater in, I want to say, Mariupol. Hundreds of women and children sheltering there.
Right.
And it's noted that this is a sign of where Putin's war in Ukraine is headed. A Russian pilot bombed the theater, even though the word children was written in huge Russian letters on the plazas in the front of the back of the theater, easily visible from the air. And this is what he's doing because it's noted that he didn't take Kyiv, and his ground forces are all bogged down. Now he's going to go against in an air campaign against other major cities and blowing them, turning them into rubble. And that resembles what he did in Chechnya and in Syria in Aleppo.
Hey, John, I hate to do this to you, pal, but you're coming across poorly on the live feeds as well.
Okay.
So,
Any suggestions?
well, in my ears, it sounds like you got a really bad froggy throat.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hearing as well.
From me.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to reboot your StreamYard right now. We'll be right back with you, folks, and we'll play a little music for you right now. You know what we'll play? We'll play. Well, I was going to play. Let's play a little Twisted Sister. We'll be right back. Oh, that sounds like crap too. Everything sounds like crap right now. So
we're going to tell you what, folks. We're going to shut it down and bring it back up and see if we can't salvage here. We'll be back here on Radio TFI and throughout the streaming network in about 3 minutes. Stay with us.
Hey, kids and kittens, we're back. We're waiting for John to come back, and I believe we're still broadcasting on the streams. I see John is back, and apparently I am. There he is. He's coming back. He's making his way back to us, and we're still having problems. So here's what we're going to do, kids and kittens. We are going to take a break. We will be back at 11 o'clock. At the top of the hour, we're going to get all our technical issues squared away, and we will see you back at 11 a.m. See you then, kids.